welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ron, your host. Well, we did it, folks. We did it, guys. We are at the final movie to close out 2023. We're at the last movie. And the last movie I'm going to cover to close out 2023, it was released in 2013 and is a sequel to a movie I've seen bits and pieces of, but it's a sequel to another comic book movie, actually surprisingly made by Marvel. This stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Christopher Martin Piaz, Chloe Grace Moretz, alongside Jim Carrey, from director Jeff Wadlin, and produced by Matthew Vaughn. Kick-Ass 2, the sequel to the sequel to Kick-Ass. Now, I liked the original Kick-Ass. I didn't see all of it, but I've seen part of it, and it's a very fun comic book film. Kick-Ass 2, I feel, is slightly better, but we'll go ahead and talk about the movie, though, because I wanted to close out this year by watching a comic book movie. Now, the reason I didn't do Kick-Ass, the first Kick-Ass, was because the first movie was from Lionsgate. Universal did the sequel, and I thought, what perfect timing. I used to have this movie, but it was mistakenly taken to Goodwill, and I never got around to seeing it. Then I rebought it for $1 from my good buddy Steve, and then I knew I wanted to check this out. Now, if you're not familiar with Kick-Ass, let's actually run down what this is about. So this picks up after the events of the first one, as Kick-Ass is very popular. He meets up with Hit Girl, Chloe Grace Moretz. This actually has a really, surprisingly, really good cast. I'll pull up my phone real quick, because I can get into the Wikipedia page. Let's run the cast in this film. So in addition to that, Nick Cage is not in this. Spoiler, he dies, which I did not know that. In addition to that, we also have Morris Chestnut, Donald Faison, John Leguizamo, and I think that's about it, and Daniel Kaluuya. Now, a lot of these actors I've covered. John Leguizamo I covered in 2 movies on the channel. Assault on Precinct 13 and Empire. Though I didn't like Empire, I thought he was good in that. He actually portrays Christopher Martin Piaz's character, who started out as Red Mist. Here he goes by the name of MFer, the MFer. We'll just say that. I'm not going to use language because I'm trying to make this sort of more for everybody to watch. But he plays the MFer. He was formerly the Red Mist. So his mother gets furious. So she's in the tanning bed. He gets furious, kicks the thing so much, burning down the tanning bed. He kills his mother. So now his chauffeur, I forget his character's name, but he's like his chauffeur and drives him around and all that stuff. So enter Kick-Ass. Well, like I said, there's a big fight with him. Morris Chestnut plays her bodyguard, which basically becomes a father figure to her. Kind of like its second dad to her, that kind of thing. So she has to run home. They're in a fight. They're in the scrap with a bunch of these gang members. So she has to make it back home. So she gets on her motorcycle and starts driving down to get back home. So it's kind of like Ferris Bueller where he has to make it back home. So she gets out of bed. Her bodyguard is like, you know, you weren't supposed to do that. You're supposed to be a normal kid. And that's really what she's trying to do. Morris Chestnut I did cover in the Best Man's Holiday. Like I said, he was good in that. But I think he's a little better playing that sort of bodyguard. So Kick-Ass doesn't get along with his father. His name is Dave, if you're curious what Kick-Ass's name. Kick-Ass's name is Dave. So yeah, that's what the gist of it, though. So he basically, then he puts on the suit and he comes up and meets Jim Carrey, who plays Stars and Stripes. I thought having Jim Carrey in it. Now, obviously, I've covered Jim Carrey movies on the channel. I've covered 2 on the channel, Bruce Almighty and Man on the Moon. But I thought he was really good in it. Sometimes it doesn't sound like Jim Carrey at times, but I think he's really good in that sort of supporting role of playing Stars and Stripes. So that's the gist of that character. though. And it's just such a fun movie. Donald Faisons from Scrubs plays Dr. I forget, Glorious. He's another superhero that Kick-Ass does meet. And then his buddy becomes a superhero. Then they don't really know each other and trying to keep an identity. And Jim Carrey's character stars and tries like, hey, don't take the Lord's name in vain. Sorry, sir. So they go into the Chinese mafia, and they're sort of like that, trying to keep these women hostage. So you got another Supergirl named Night Bitch. But yeah, it's just the wackiest characters. This is actually based on a Marvel Comics story, which I didn't really even know. But I was watching it, I realized, oh yeah, I do realize that. It's really fun. I was not bored. I thought the pacing was good. The action scenes were great. The cinematography was awesome. Though, yeah, and then now they're trying to arrest these vigilantes. Daniel Kaluuya's in it. He plays the guy that the MFers trying to fight an MMA, and Chuck Liddell who makes an appearance in it though. So he's like, I got the best superpowers. Money. You want to join my group? Money. So he joins the group. Then we got a girl, another woman named Mother Russia, who's like the prisoner of the KGB, and she's like the sex symbol. She basically she's wearing a bikini with the Soviet Union flag on there, and I'm like, dang, that's creative. The fight outside in the suburbs is just really cool, though. The movie is just fun. The action scenes, though the one scene where Hit Girl is on top of the van, it kind of reminds me of the one scene in Darkman. Darkman had that one big helicopter aerial fight, and I thought that was really good. So it has a little bit of a Darkman feel, the Sam Raimi non-superhero movie, which that's a great movie if you haven't seen Darkman. I can recommend that one. I do own that movie, though. But just, the movie is just so much fun. It is very sad times. I'm not really spoiling the ending, but his father turns himself in thinking he's Kick-Ass. So MF's henchman comes up and murders his father, and he comes home, he's all devastated. You can see how he got murdered. Essentially, they cut his neck off, and he's hanging like that. So he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. That's just, don't worry about that. But yeah, something like that. So he's trying to go after him, and he's trying to save his life. I'm not going to give you how it ends, but there's also a post-credit scene, which kind of surprised me the most. But yeah, it's just such a fun movie. I could go on and on and on about how great Kick-Ass 2 is. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the artwork. Now, the Blu-ray artwork is slightly different, but I think the DVD artwork is really good. You got Stars and Treasure, you got Hit Girl, you got Kick-Ass, you got the MFer. And if you look on the back, right here, all that stuff, I like that photo a lot. He was formerly known as Red Mist, if you've seen the first film. They do kind of give away how the MFer's father died. So I do remember that, because oh yeah, I do remember. The shootout, the graveyard scene is really good. I think the whole cast did an awesome job. But yeah, it's, like I said, it's all out a lot of fun. But yeah, I think I got on over and over and over. Oh, special features. There's extended scenes, upping the game, creating a badass world, Go Ballistic Weapons and Stunts. I did watch the Go Ballistic Weapons and Stunts. There's a feature commentary with Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's Kick-Ass. I did cover Anna Corrandian on the channel. He's in that as well, so I did cover that on the channel. Christopher Martin Piaz, his previous film for the studio was Role Models. So, yeah, I don't have that movie. And Chloe Grace Moretz and writer-director Jeff Wadlow. Now, he has directed a movie for the studio before, 2010's Cry Wolf, which I have that. And after that, he would go on to direct Blumhouse Truth or Dare. I wasn't a fan of that one, but as a director, now Matthew Vaughn did produce this movie. I kind of wish he directed this. But yeah, based on a comic book written by Mark Millar and Millan and John S. Ramonton Jr. It was a 2008 comic. Supposedly made by Marvel, but I did the research while I was watching the movie to get the idea. It's actually written by Jeff Wadlin. Oh, it's also done by Merv Films. I think that might be Matthew Vaughn's company. I don't know. Yeah, Colonel Stars and Stripes is Jim Carrey. I just want to show you Jim Carrey right there. I love Jim Carrey. I think the guy is super awesome. But yeah, he's just so much fun. The movie in a whole is just a ton of fun for what it is. So anyways, is there any negatives about the film? I thought the fight scene near the end took a little too long. But it wasn't boring. It just sort of felt tedious that the fight scene went on and on. Oh, there's also a ton of blood. So if you're squeamish on blood, there's also another scene where she gets back on the bullies. Her father gives her this walkie-talkie called Sick, which basically makes you vomit and diarrhea at the same time. So she gets back on these girls, and they all vomit. And the main bully, basically it's payback what she did with a boyfriend. She was dating someone, they left right there. And that's why it was payback for that. It was such a good scene. The whole movie is just good. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, not a perfect movie, but a dang good perfect film. This film is just awesome. If I was watching this in 2024, this would have made on my best list. It's coming close. I might put on the best list. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to, even though as much as I love the film, might be an honorable mentions. We'll see. That, I'll let you know when that happens. So anyways, final verdict, should you see Kick-Ass 2? Absolutely. This movie is a ton of fun from start to finish. Now, I never saw the first Kick-Ass, though. I saw bits and pieces of it from clips on YouTube and the ending. But going into this was a breath of fresh air. It is so good, so much fun. If you want a superhero film that's not Marvel or DC, check this out. It is a ton of fun. It was a great watch from start to finish. And as of now, I'm just going to say a goodbye. And thank you again for watching. Thank you for watching my review of Kick-Ass 2. Once again, if you like the content I'm put on the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Kick-Ass 2. Now, before I say the usual thing, I just want to say thank you guys so much for a great year of Hidden Universal Vault. It was a fun ride from start to finish. I just want to thank the people who come onto the channel, not only like the videos, but comment on the videos. You guys out in the YouTube community are great. And I just want to say, I'm going to be signing off for now. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I know we're not on Christmas yet, but I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Just have a good one. Have a great year. I had a blast doing this, and I can't wait to come back on the channel. So, yeah. Like I said again, as always, keep watching those Universal movies. I'll see you guys back here in 2024. Bye.